but she knows she can fly away. Oh, she got both feet on the ground, and she's burning it down. Oh, she got her head in the clouds, and she's not backing down. This girl is on fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Senior Executive Vice President of Market America and Shop.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Ridinger.
Looks like a girl, but she's a flame. So bright she can burn your eyes. Better look the other way. You can try, but you'll never forget her name.
Lauren Ridinger.
She's on top of the world. Hottest of the hottest girls. Say, oh, we got our feet on the ground, and we're burning it down. Oh, got our head in the clouds, and we're not coming down.
Wow, guys!
This girl is on fire.
Taiwan! I love you, Taiwan!
Girl is on fire.
Wow, guys!
Walking on fire.
Okay!
Ladies and gentlemen, our Senior Executive
Howard.
Vice President, Lauren Ridinger.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for that amazing welcome. And Taiwan, always thank you for waking up the world. So, you hear that? Okay. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. I love all of you so much. I want you to feel that every day of your life. That's how you should be living, that happy. That happy. That's what we're going to talk about. So let me hear from all of you. Let me hear from all of you. All of you. All of you. I want you to be that happy every day. You deserve that. You know what? Do I have a clicker? I do. Thank you, hon. Thank you. Guys, a few things I want to get out of the way right now. This has been an amazing event. Amazing event. And this is going to be an amazing day, but I want to say a few things. Number one, if you feel compelled to clap, to scream, to holler, to cry, that's your choice. You don't need to wait on anybody beside you to do it. If you see me down here, sometimes I stand up by myself because I feel compelled to stand up. Do what you want. Feel how you feel. I am tired of letting ourselves live our lives for other people. That is not what we're going to do today. And we're not going to do that anymore when we leave here. You're going to hear me talk a lot about this. You see, JR and I went into JR, pay attention. Mark, pay attention. I listened very carefully to both of you yesterday. I expect the same in return. Now, stand up if you want. That's right. Okay. Now, okay. Let me say this. Actually, I want to say this. I thought Mark and by the way, yes, I have Coca-Cola up here, but if you notice, I don't advertise it in a can because I don't believe in advertising anybody who doesn't pay us. So, only because my sugar sometimes drops under these lights. However, you guys were amazing yesterday. Amazing. I don't know what else to say. The dynamic duo. Last night was a magical moment. This whole event is a magical moment. And you're going to hear me talk a lot about this room today. When I talk about this room, I don't mean just this room. I mean you. I mean you as people. And when I say in this room, I mean in any room you're in together. And that's important. I want to preface this presentation by telling you that, because I'm going to talk a lot about things that are about you, and where I want us to go, and what I want us to do, and I want us to grow. Let me tell you something. The fact that you're here is everything. The fact that you're here is everything. There are leaders who didn't make it here because they said that their flight was late. Let me tell you something. You made it anyway. You made it anyway. You don't need anyone else but yourself. You don't have to be that smart to build this business. Look at JR and I. It's true. I mean, actually, JR and I and Anthony were coming back a few years ago on the airplane. And JR, when I go to sleep, it's very rare. Very rare do I fall asleep. JR is laughing. But at this point on the plane, I was dead exhausted. I could not keep my head up anymore. And I have this little thing Andrew will tell you. I'll say, like, to Andrew, if I'm at home, hey, I'm getting ready to go to sleep in about 30 seconds. When I do, wake me up in 20 minutes. Because I believe in power naps. So I take a power nap every day for 20 minutes. So I'll tell Andrew, hey, I'm turning it off right now. And he knows that means in 3 seconds I'm done, right? And he'll wake me up in 20 minutes. Well, we're on the plane going home, and Anthony and I were sitting there because Jared normally sits there quietly on his computer, or he'll take a nap. But this time I was exhausted. I think we came back from a presentation. Jared was amazing, and he was fired up. You know you like to talk about how things are afterwards, but I could not keep my eyes open, Stacy, for nothing. Jared taps me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, babe, let's play this game. I was like, he's like, oh, no. And I'm like, babe, I'm really so not into the game thing right now. You know what I'm saying? I just want to roll over. I want to take a nap. He's like, come on, babe. This is going to be so much fun. I'm like, Jared, I don't want to play a game. And he said, it's like trivia. Here's the deal. Come on. You get the answer right, I pay you $5. I get the answer right, you pay me $5. Jared, there's no $5 that's turning me on right now. It's not happening. Come on, Lauren. Come on. Jared, let me sleep. I'll tell you what, I'll up the ante, $50. You get it right and I'll pay you $50. I get it wrong, you only have to pay me $5. $50 ain't gonna cut it. It's just not gonna cut it. When I'm tired, I'm tired. So he said, all right, I'll up the ante. You get it right, I'll give you $500. You get it wrong, you gotta pay me $5. I said, $500, all right, I'm gonna play this stupid game with this guy. All right, I'm in it. So he says to me, all right, I'm gonna go first, Lauren, I'm gonna go first. Let me ask you the first question. All right, go ahead and ask me. And he said, how far is planet Earth to the moon? Huh? Huh? How far is planet Earth to the moon? I mean, this guy's a biologist, okay? Like a triple major of all types of stuff, just a science freak of all types. I don't know. And I turn over into my wallet and I pull the $5 out and I pass him the $5. Fine, here's your $5. I'm thinking this game is the dumbest game ever and I don't want to play it for this particular reason. Come on, ask me a question. Ask me anything you want, he says. Ask me anything you want. Come on, just take a shot at it. So I said, okay, honey. What goes up a hill with 3 legs and comes down the hill with 4 legs? That's right, Mauricio. And I love all you. And he said, huh? And I said, huh. What goes up a hill with 3 legs and comes back down with 4? Now, we had Wi-Fi in the airplane. I said, you feel free to use Google if you like. Whatever you want to do. 15 minutes goes by. I said, Jerry, are you going to answer the question or not? And he's like, all right, whatever, Lauren, here. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. I take that money and I put it in my pocket. I get back in the airplane, pull the blanket over me, turn over to go take a nap. He taps me on the shoulder and he says, "What's the answer?" And I pull out my wallet and I give him $5. Now, you don't have to be that smart to build this business. You just need to have fun, guys. You just need to have fun. And I've been telling you, and JR's been telling you, Mark's been telling you, and Dennis and Kevin have told you, and Steve told you, every one of these, Jim and Andrew told you, all we want you to do is have fun. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. You got to be able to laugh at yourself, have a good time. Don't take it so seriously. You take your job with your boss too serious. You spend more time learning about your job than you will about learning about your future with this business. You got to stop. You got to stop. You're a hamster on a treadmill. You want a better way. You can't escape the rat race. You're going nowhere fast. You're living a lower standard of living, never getting you ahead, working more for less. You're in debt in a dead-end job with financial uncertainty. And you want something better for yourself. Maybe you're a manager. Maybe you're some executive at a company. Maybe you've found a way out of the rat race, but you're still living like a rat. You're still living like a rat. You're working harder and harder and harder, 90 hours a week. And at the end of the day, as that executive or that management, you're working more for less. Why do you think we have so many doctors and professionals in our business? Look at Sharon Lawrence. It's true. They want a way. She found her way out. Stop trading time for money. Stop trading time for money. That's what we do. How many of you are treating your business like $1 million business? But not everybody. And by the way, I have another rule up here today. You have to be super honest today. How many of you would raise your hand if I just asked you to raise your hand? Exactly. What I'm telling you is this. I want you to be really honest with yourself today. It's not about me. See, I always love it when somebody comes to the company, comes up to Mark Ashley. It's like, hey, Mark, I mean, your company seems cool and everything. But I mean, I kind of got to watch how you guys are before I can really believe in you guys. No, you got it wrong. You don't need to have belief in the company. You need to have belief in yourself. It ain't about the company. It ain't about the company. It's about you. You're not investing yourself like you've treated this business, like you've invested the millions of dollars that we have in technology, in services, products. You got to make the shift in your life to do what you've always said you wanted to do. And the only way to do that is to take massive action. You see, you have to do every single day what will produce massive results. And you know what? It's not always easy, but it's easier than what you do every day for someone else. And yet, still, some of you won't really commit to yourselves. Because if you would simply do it. But it's hard to make the commitment to ourselves because we know ourselves. We know what we're willing to do and what we're not willing to do because we're so programmed to do as little as we have to do. We're so programmed to do as little as we have to do. See, Jared said it last night at the gala. Success loves speed. It loves speed. You ever try to go up a mountain when you're succeeding? You just push a little bit harder and you accelerate. You fly down that mountain. That's why he always says professional coordinator is the hardest level to hit. Once you get there, it's all the way up from there. Success loves speed, guys. You have to expose the business to a lot of people no matter what your team does. You have to do that. That's why I love what JR said last night about the fact that You have to expose it to a lot of numbers to find the right people. You can't miss the moment. You have to treat this business like $1 million business. All this technology that Mark showed you, all of the products that Marty and brought to life with Mark, come on. How much more do you possibly need? But I know it's hard, so we're going to talk about how we can talk about those things. It blows my mind. Some of you don't have priorities. You won't make commitments to yourselves because you won't believe that you'll do it. You know yourself too well. So if I say to you, hey guys, let's go buy these vitamins. This is what you need to do in order to succeed. Let's get this on your auto ship, buy these vitamins. It's going to cost you $100. Some of you will say, $100, man. I don't know about that. I don't know about those monthly supplements. I don't know if I can afford that. But heck, you'll go out with your friends one night a week at a bar and you'll drink $100. You'll drink $100. That's where your priorities are. Or if I ask you to buy tickets for the seminar and people say, well, tell me what I got to do. Well, you got to buy tickets to go to the seminar. Well, I don't know about that. $250 to come to this event, I'm not sure if I can handle that. I don't know. But you tell them about that new Gucci belt, it's on their waist. They got to have it. You got to get your priorities right. Let me tell you something. You got to get your priorities right. You know how many people drove here this weekend because their flight didn't take off? A lot of them. Kevin was sharing with me, Andrew Chi told me about, who's it, what was her name, Kev? Marty's son, right? Dealing with lupus, taking chemotherapy, drugs, trying to help improve her situation, put it off for a week just so she could be here this weekend. That's where her priorities were. Oh, $1,000 to start a business? I can't possibly imagine doing that. But the new iPhone, I gotta have it. 60 minutes at the gym? 60 minutes at the gym? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? I don't have time for that. There's no way. I wish I had the time. There's no time left at the end of my day. But somehow or another, you find your way to Netflix at 7 p.m. Guys, where are our priorities? You're so conditioned to put yourself last that you never come first. You're so conditioned, put yourself last that you never come first. Let me ask you a question. Where are you right now? Where do you want to be? And what role have you played in it? Have you been the lead? The starring role in your life story? Because I got to tell you something, we're all self-made, but mostly successful people are the only ones who admit to it. We never want to take responsibility for where we are. We come up with excuses. Think about that. You see, it's our decision to do what's left with our life right now. Yes, we're all starting to get a little bit older. Forget about you New Energy team out there. I know how young and hot you guys are. I get it. Young, beautiful people. We were all there one time, but all of us over here, we need to step up our game. That's why I love JR as the leader. I wake up every day and this guy's in it. He's in it to win it. He's going again. And if he can do it, we can do it. And if he can do it, I can do it. And she can do it, I can do it. And all of you $1 Million Club earners who have made it already, get up and do it again. Get up and do it again. Because you can. Because if he can do it, we can do it. Like, oh, I'm tired. I'm tired too, but let's keep on going. Everybody's worrying about sleeping. And by the way, when I'm done speaking today, we're not done up here. There's more people coming on after me. And if you're hungry, be hungry. Wait. You wait. You can eat when you leave for lunch. Because let me tell you something, you're here to learn. And there's a lot of people, you guys walk out of the room when they're coming up on stage, you stay seated because I'm paying attention to you. Stay Thank you, baby. I'm paying attention to you. Don't you walk out on people. It's time for you to learn. When I tell you to lose sleep, it's because I mean it. Lose sleep. You're going to die one day and have plenty of time to sleep. It's time for you to live right now. It is time for you to live. You have to live. You have to work on a better relationship with yourself. You're not in a healthy relationship with yourself. The person you need to work on the relationship with is you. Not your spouse, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend, not your husband, not your wife, not your respective other. With you, not even your kids. Because if you're not happy and you're taking it out on everyone else around you, it's because you're not happy with you. You need to work on the relationship you have with yourself every single day. Thank you, babe. Is that Mauricio? I love you. I'll hear the clap whenever you guys are ready. Listen. Thank you, babe. Listen. We have to work on a relationship with ourselves. How can we ever grow? We find excuses. We blame others. When really we need to do is operate from a position of belief. It's the foundation for our success. You see, you hear it all the time. Somebody says to Andrew, well, you know what? I'll see it when I believe it. That's the attitude of 99% of the world outside this room. And let me tell you something. This room, again, I'm talking about this room, you. Everything outside this room is corrupt. In some form or fashion, it will tear you down, bring you down. People climb their way to the top, competing for success. And in this room is where people build each other up, where mindsets are born, where people are born, where entrepreneurs are born. So you think sometimes we're just trying to sell you a ticket. What I'm trying to do is sell you a lifestyle, sell you an atmosphere, sell you something that'll save you from out there. Because it'll hurt you out there. See, you have to learn the business. See, some of you, I love you, scream as much as you want, baby. You have to learn this business. You have to work on learning this business. You don't want to take the time. Why? You'll learn more from your boss, and he's going to pay you a lot of money. Come on. Take the time to learn, to understand the business. If you don't step forward, you're always going to be in the same place. And one day you're going to wake up and there's no more tomorrows to do anything about it. Here's the funny thing. As a child, you believed you could do anything, right? I've talked about this before. When you get up as a child and you're 2 years old or 1.5 and you're learning to walk, and you get up and you fall down, and you get up and you fall down, and you get up and you fall down, you don't look at mom and dad and say, Dad, I'm sorry, this walking thing's not for me. I can't do it anymore. And when you're learning to ride a bike as a child, what happens? Kevin, you get on the bike. You start to hit the pedals, you fall down, you scrape your knees, you get back up, don't you? And when you want to learn how to swim, guess what? You got to get wet. You got to get wet. You got to do those things. You can't be afraid. So today I'm doing something different. This isn't just going to be a motivational, irritating talk. I'm talking to you from my heart. Because everything I say to you, I say to myself, I work on growing myself every day. Every day I ask God, please make me a better person today than I was yesterday. Please give me more patience. Please help me. Please, I talk to him every single night, every single day. Give me what I need up here on stage. Help me through the morning. Whatever I need, guide me, guide me, guide me. Make me better. Make me better. You're not talking to him enough. You're not talking to him enough. You're not talking to him enough. Listen, how many of you, I love you. Mauricio, she's giving you a run for your money. Now, how many of you, I know, I'm kidding. I love all of you guys. Let's keep it nice in here. This is our safe environment, our safe atmosphere. We're going to talk about that in a minute. JR, in a few minutes, I'd like you to go ahead and excuse yourself so you're not stressed out for the afternoon. And I know you would never leave this room unless I asked you to, so you should leave and go get prepared. You won't hurt my feelings because I got all my family right here. Go ahead. Whenever you want, you sneak out. How many of you have kids in here? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand, Mr. Buckman, Dennis Franks. Andrew, keep your hand down. Now, how many of you have kids? Raise your hand. Keep your hands up. I didn't tell you to put your hands down. Okay. Now you can put your hands down. Stacy, do you remember when you were pregnant with your first child? How'd you feel? Nervous. How else? Excited. Nervous. Excited. Afraid? Afraid. You probably had no idea what to do when that baby was going to come. So every one of us, ladies and guys, read the book called What to Expect When Expecting. David said, oh yeah, he knows the chapters inside out. Me too. JR knew chapter 26 like no other. Now my point is this, what to expect when expecting. You could have read that book inside and out 2 or 3 times, and even though you thought you were prepared, guess what? You weren't prepared, were you? You had no idea how to raise that child. No idea what to do. No idea what to do. Weren't sure exactly how it was going to work out, but you knew you were committed. You were committed, weren't you? Stacy, you weren't going to quit on that baby, were you? Didn't matter what. That baby came and you had no idea, Mark, what was going to happen when Mariah came out. You were scared as all hell, but you were committed. You were going to learn by trial and error, but one thing for sure is you weren't going to quit on her. You loved her. You were going to learn as you went, and even as times got tough, you were never going to quit. Trial and error, I'll practice, I'll learn, I'll do everything I can to make sure Mariah's happy. Everything I can. Why won't you treat your life the same way? Why won't you treat your life the same way? Why won't you reach inside you and say the same things? You couldn't go back and say, well, sorry, Mariah, sorry, Colton. This thing ain't working out. Let me send you back. No. No. So why do you commit your life to others without committing your life to you first? Yes, you commit yourself to your children, but you commit yourself to your boss before yourself. You commit yourself to your spouse before yourself. You commit yourself to your family before yourself. You put you first. I have this ring I wear all the time Jennifer Lopez gave me. It says, I love me. Why? Because our relationship with ourselves is the most healthy, important relationship we can have so we can love others. But without loving yourself, you cannot effectively and fully love others. You can't do it. You just can't do it. You have to believe. You have to believe. I got to tell you, you got to stop worrying so much about how it works and just have the passion to make it work. Don't worry about the how. Just have the why. If you have the why, the how automatically happens. It automatically happens. Let me tell you something. It took a couple of years of struggling to make these people millionaires. You look at them every single day. We're in the hallways and you go, wow, I wish I could be David and Stacy Whited. Who wouldn't want to be? I wish I could be Tom Holden. I wish I could be Jackie Blasco or Frank and Gingy. I wish I could be them. But you see them as they are today. But would you like to see their hustle and what it took to get them there? The pain. They didn't have the products you have. They didn't have the money, like many of you don't. They had to drive so many times a night, unpaid bills. You think the struggle's real for you? Let me tell you something. When the struggle's real, and you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you are committed to not give up on yourself to get where these people are in 2 to 3 years, that's what's living. But you have to look behind the scenes. You have to look behind the scenes. You have to see how they did it. It's not about how Elizabeth just looks. It's about the work and the process she put into getting here. And you do it every day. You go to work, and I don't know what you do, and I don't know what your story is. I told you that. But you're here for you. So why wouldn't you take the same effort that you give? J.R. always says, God bless. If they would just give us the same effort that they gave to their boss, they'd be multimillionaires. Multimillionaires. Yes, you would. That much time. That much time. So we believe that all of you are meant to be special, but you don't believe in yourself. You got to stop fighting with life and start being part of it. You have to control it. Let me tell you something. When you get to the point of being really successful, you decide who, where, and what. You decide who, where, and what. And more than money, that has been the most satisfying thing to me on the planet. Because you know what? I get to decide when I want to see my grandkids, which is a lot. I post pictures of them all the time. Why? Because we get to spend our life that way. Because in between that, I help a lot of people achieve success because that's my other goal. And when you live your life with your why in mind, the how is easy. The how naturally comes. You're working too hard to fight with life rather than being a part of it. You question your worthiness. You think you aren't worthy. You see all these leaders and you want to be like them, but you won't do like them. Elizabeth will tell you, I'll tell you what, here's the first step you need to take, John. Go listen to the tape. Well, why don't you just tell me? Well, why don't you just go listen to the tape? Well, can't you just tell me I'm right here? I am trying to tell you, go listen to the tape. But you won't do it. Right, Kevin? It's so hard. You won't do it. You let others influence your thinking. Get rid of the people who are negative and influence your thinking the wrong way. Period. End of story. Get a divorce. Do what you got to do. Live your life. Live your life. I am not one to believe in divorce. Let me tell you something. There is no marriage manuals for marriage. Nobody ever gave me one. If they gave you one, let me know about it. But I never got it. I am committed to marriage because I love my husband. But I make sure I'm with the husband who's supporting me emotionally, loves me, pushes me, propels me. But if you're with somebody who's pulling you down, get rid of them. That is not your life. God didn't want it that way. You are not in a situation where you need to be in a situation where somebody's bringing you down. Change your circle of friends if they're the ones. Nobody's friends want you to make it. If your friends really love you, they want you to be the best. If your friends really love you, they want you to make it. If your friends really love you, they'll come here and support you like Marion Truman. They want you to make it. Every single time for 20-some years they come because they don't want to miss a show because they want me to make it. They come backstage, make sure, hey, you want to rehearse with me? You want to talk it over with me? We want you to be the best. That's the type of friends you need in your life. And if you don't have them, lose them. Find new ones. Someone say, check your circle. Check your circle. Somebody say it, check your circle. 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 Okay, check your circle. You can take them off if you want. I'm going to let them take my shoes off. I'm really trained very well, but when you stand up here for a long period of time, for 8 hours a day, sometimes 10, and then you're up on heels all day, the last thing you want to do is look down at your feet and see how swollen they are. So I'll feel a lot better when they come off. Anyway, check your circle. Thank you, guys. Check your circle. And I can get a lot more animated. Check your circle. And here's why. You don't need to feel bad. It's not your job to feel bad. They should feel bad. Because they don't want you to make it. They don't want you to make it. This is a tough world outside, folks. It's a tough world. Oh, that's right. Bye-bye, Felicia, baby. Check your circle. Because if I cut you off, Kevin, the chances are you gave me the scissors. Chances are you gave me the scissors. You do what you have to do. You've got this one life, and this one is as good as any. This one is as good as any. That's what it comes down to. You see, you really don't know what you need in life till you figure out who you are. You can't be what you don't see. You have to believe in yourself. You have to check your circle. You have to be careful that you don't have this victim mentality, conquer this victim mentality instead of resulting in humility like, yo, I don't need your help. I got a dream, bro. It's going to work out great. I'm fantastic. I don't need anyone. Let me tell you something. No, you're going to need some help. You're going to need some help along the way. And what happens in life when we're so full of pride that you start creating codependent friends because you're insecure around anyone around you who's gone further than you or better than you, and you can't reach up because you need to have little people around you to feel good. For your ego, don't do that. Check your circle. Check your circle. Listen to me. It is time to break your thinking. If you're the smartest person in your circle, it's time to get a new circle. It's time to get a new circle. I will not associate or hang around people who do not help me influence my thinking the right way, who do not stimulate my thinking, who are not smarter than me. It's so boring when you think you're intelligent anyway, you're sitting there having a conversation with somebody who has nothing to offer. Talking about their fashion and what they're putting on for the day. Let me tell you something about my fashion. Okay, you see me dressed up here like this, you can ask anyone on my team, especially Andrew Weissman. Elizabeth knows this. I wear a uniform every day. Is it true, Elizabeth? Every single day of my life, I wear a uniform. Black sweatpants, I have 100 of them. Same style. Same black sweatshirt, I have 100 of those too. Why do I do that? Because I don't have time to think about what I'm going to wear because I'm going somewhere. I got things to do. I don't clutter my mind with unimportant things. So I do what's necessary. How do I save time so I have more time to do the things I want to do? I cut out all the unnecessary stuff. Elizabeth took some of my uniforms home with her and she said she's laughing. She said, I did. Because it's so much easier when you don't have to think about it. When I spend my time doing things that are valuable. And that's how I want you to live your life, doing things that are valuable. That's what I want you to do. So you get so freaked out. You're here. We try to arm you with all this information, and you get freaked out when you go out of here because you're not sure exactly what to do. Or maybe you're afraid that one of your friends or your family member is going to say you're in one of those things. And you don't know what to say. You're right, it is the best thing, baby. It is the best thing, but you don't know what to say. Are you in one of those things, Andrew? That's what your neighbor says to you. And because you don't know what to say and you're not armed, you start to believe it. You don't know the answer. So since you can't answer them, you question yourself and then you question it. And think that this is one of those things. Let me ask you a question. MarketAmericaShop.com is a business with thousands of little businesses inside of it, right, Mark? Market America is a business, Andrew, with thousands of little businesses, independent entrepreneurs in it. Is that correct? Would you all agree? All of you. And every single day, thousands of businesses that you've never heard of start. And thousands of those businesses that start never make it. Why aren't they one of those things? My point is this. The reason why they're not one of those things, nobody ever talks about them. But in this business, somebody leaves and they say, oh, this didn't work. No, it didn't work because you didn't work it. Don't get confused. This is not one of those things. Oh, one of those things. Okay. By the way, Toys R Us out of business. They're not one of those things, are they? Why are we one of those things? When somebody says that to you, say, well, let me compare it to traditional business. Thousands of little businesses start every single day, and you never hear about the ones that don't make it. Thousands of them. We only hear about the big ones. Apple, Microsoft, Market America, all these things. And all the little ones we never hear about, but they're not one of those things. Neither are you. Neither are you. Stop thinking you're one of those things. You have a friend who's a real estate agent, hasn't sold a house in 4 years, he's been in the business. Stops doing real estate. Does that mean that you can't go buy a house today? No, you find another real estate agent. It didn't work for him. You go to buy a bed at your favorite furniture store up the street, Mark. They're closed, out of business. The furniture store is out of business. Does that mean you can't find another store to buy a bed? That store closed because it didn't work for them, because they didn't work it. It's that simple. You get confused. You are not one of those things. And don't you let somebody tell you that. Listen, think about this. Think about Elizabeth Weber, Joanne Shee. 1 year of work. 1 year of work is equivalent to the average income of one person in 2019's 45 years of work. 1 year of work equal to 45 years of somebody else's work. James and Marion Kuo, where are you? 1 year of work. By the way, 2019 income numbers per person. 1 year work equivalent to 31.9 years of somebody else's work. Our directors, all of our directors, $18,000 to $25,000 a month. 1 year of work is an average of 6 years of somebody else's work. We're one of those things. I'm in it then. I'm in it. Come on, guys. We're not one of those things, and you need to arm yourself with the answer. We're no different than traditional business in that aspect. We just don't hear about all of those businesses that don't make it every day. That's what it is. Imagine being able to make that type of money. 1 year, Elizabeth Weber, 45 years to someone else, almost half of somebody else's life. It works if you work it, but you have to evolve and you can absorb it. Don't be one of the people who go through life with the handbrake on in the car. Don't do it. Set an example for your team. Set goals for yourself. You need to act. You need to have a why. You hear it all the time from people. What is a why? It's what you love the most. It's what drives you the most. It's your purpose. It's your passion. It's what fuels you in the morning. It's what kicks you out of bed without the alarm clock. What's the one thing you love more than anything in the world and you want to do? You will live and die for it. It's the only thing for sure that you know you'll die for. What is it? That's your why. That's your why. That's your purpose. And we're going to talk about it in a minute. See, we're one choice away from becoming the true potential we're meant to be. One choice. But that choice is yours. You see, you get freaked out when somebody says no. No, I'm not interested. You don't like the word no. You don't know how many times we've heard no. We've heard the word no so many more times than you've ever heard it. Because we've talked to more people. You know how many times Elizabeth Weber has heard no? Thousands of more times than you guys have, but you haven't tried it. No means nothing to us. But you let it affect you. And no doesn't always mean no. No can mean not now. Wrong timing. No, I don't have the money. You can show them how. No, I don't know. I'm not in a good place in my situation in my life, like Trina Madera wasn't when she was going through it. But you know what? You can talk her through it and find a way out of it. You take no as no and don't find out why the answer is no. So you assume it's no and you move on. No can mean something as simple as they don't have the money and you're going to help them earn it by retailing product. You don't even work to find out more why, because as human beings, we stop listening. We stop listening to what people are saying to us, and we assume because we heard 2 letters, N-O, that means no. And we don't work any harder to collect information. You have to pay attention to what people are saying. We're always in such a rush. Stop being in a rush. Life's fast anyway. Slow down and listen to what people are saying. We're not the best listeners. We all are working on it. I ask God every day, make me a better listener. Make me a better listener, because it's easy not to pay attention to what people are saying. No doesn't always mean no. And if it does, and it means, hey, the timing's not right, be like Elizabeth. Go back to Steve Harris. Go back to Bonnie Philo. And when they say, well, you know what? Just call me when you make it. Don't worry, I will. And if you don't hear from me, no worries, you'll hear my story. That's how you have to be. That's how you have to be. Call me when you're successful. No problem. You'll be the first person I call. You people take a long time to realize who they are. People take a long time to realize who they are, unless they want to be changed. And most people you can't change. You can't change most people. We spend so much of our time trying to change people that all we need to do is influence people. And I'm getting ready to talk about something that's very powerful, and I hope you hear it. You got to stop worrying about rejection. You got to be willing to learn. Jair says you got to make a names list of 100 people. He's right. You got to make a names list of 100 people because you know them. The problem is you prejudge it. You prejudge it and you say, well, I'm not going to put his name on the list because he's not going to do it. And Mark, I'm not going to put your name on the list because you're not going to do it. Instead of prejudging people, it's not your place because you have no idea who's going to do it and who's not. Stop prejudging people. Put their name down on the list. Everybody on that list, Dennis, is not going to lead you to your wealth, are they? Those people on the list are not going to make you all your money, but they may lead to the people who will. They may lead to the people who will, and that's why you got to put them down on paper. You know what? You say, oh, I haven't sponsored anybody, or the people I have sponsored, they haven't done it. The 10 people I brought in quit the business. They're not good. Oh, my God. Do we have anybody who likes to play cards in here? David, how many cards are in a deck? How many aces are in that deck? 4 aces. How many cards you got to go through to get to 4 aces? 48. He knows math. 48 cards, Steve, to find 4. You got to go through 48 cards to find 4 aces. You understand? 4 cards. Put the phone down, Andrew. 48 cards to find 4 aces. Keep flipping through the cards. Keep flipping through the cards until you find your aces, guys. People don't make it because they have a conflict with their wants and their whys. People don't make it because they have a conflict with their wants and their whys. You see, what they say they want is different than their why. And when they're not aligned, they don't work. Now, you can have a big why, and then you can have a lot of little wants and whys, which we're going to talk about. We're going to do them together. You see, if they're not aligned, though, it doesn't work. You see, it's not full-time or part-time. It's what you do with your time that matters. And you have to put what you want in that time. So you also have to remember who you're speaking to, because I've seen a lot of successful people join this business, not because they needed the money. Andrew and I were talking about this the other day. I've seen a lot of successful people join this business, not because they needed the money, but because they needed something else. They needed to be fulfilled by helping others. There's a lot of people who join this business for other reasons. So when you're making your list of 100 people, don't stop and not put down the guy who makes a lot of money or the gal who makes a lot of money because you don't think she needs it. They might need another sense of purpose, another sense of fulfillment, which is to help other people. Because in this business, we just reach back and hold someone's hand and help them along, right? Because life is not just about money. It's about fulfilling your purpose. So you have to listen and pay attention to what really is a no and what people are saying. See, transformation doesn't come from you being here this weekend. It doesn't. I hate to tell you that. It's the right first step. But transformation won't happen from you being here this weekend. It comes from renewing your mind, reinventing yourself, renovating your mind. Renovating your mind. So, anybody ever do like renovation of their home? Raise your hand. I just finished one. When you renovate your home, Jackie, can you do it by just showing up for one day? Can you renovate your home in one day? No. Can you renovate your home in 2 days? Not really. It's not easy, right? Because you got to tear out the walls. You got to pull off the tiles. Sometimes you have to lift up the floors. You can't transform yourself by just being here this weekend. It takes more time than that. And you got to be willing to put in the time. It doesn't happen just by being here. It just doesn't happen by being here. We've got to do it. We've got to learn it. I don't need to tell you my story because most of you know it. JR and I came from nothing. We didn't have anything. We knew what it was like when the bill collectors calls. People took turns picking up the phone, pretending in a different voice. No, they're not here right now. Can you call back 2 weeks from now? I think they're in the process of moving. I know what it's like to struggle. We all know what it's like. Mark's car, we would ride down the first year of Market America, we drive down to go from one place to the other to pick up boxes to ship out your products. Mark would drive us in the car, and literally, we were lucky if we would make it because the car would always smoke up and catch on fire. He just said it was a piece of garbage. It's true. What was it, like a Honda Civic, like 1976, and it was 1992 when we were starting. It was bad. He said it looked like a turtle. I got to tell you guys, we know what it's like to work paycheck to paycheck. We know what it's like struggling to make ends meet if we're going to be able to pay the bills. You don't know our story just like I don't know yours, but we struggle just like you. And here we are. And every single day we won't quit. So why do you quit on you? Why do you quit on you? Past failures don't predict your future. See them as learning experiences. You see, sometimes you have to go broke. Sometimes you have to lose the person that you thought you loved and watch your friends turn into your foes in order to get where you're going. Trust the process. Elevation requires separation. I hope you get that. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Elevation requires separation. In order to get where you need to go, you're going to have to separate from some people that you thought loved you. Move on. Move on. You got to reinvent yourself, folks. You see, getting your stuff together in order to succeed requires the strongest level of honesty that you can't even imagine. There's nothing easy about realizing that you're the person that held you back. There's nothing easy when you realize that you're the person that's held you back. So being honest is one of the most important steps. It's when you know it's going to be okay. It's when you know you're on your way. It's when you know you're going to make it happen. Because I'm going to be honest with myself and I'm going to do everything I need to do in order to get exactly where I'm supposed to be. That's what you have to do. You're going to need to ignore what everyone else is doing or not doing in order to get where you want to be. You got to break out of those limits that you're used to. You got to discover your why. I'm going to speed this up so I stay on time today. You got to get to your purpose, and that's what you're going to work towards. You see, you have to find your purpose, your why. And when you do that, nothing will stop you. You don't need to try to figure out your how, because once you have your why, everything else falls into place. You're going to hit a lot of speed bumps. A lot of speed bumps in life. They're meant to be there. And just when you think you've made it, you hit the biggest one ever. Did they say like Andrew? I thought they said like Andrew. Oh, God. Being an entrepreneur is a journey filled with highs and lows. Lots of speed bumps. Right, Tom? Lots of speed bumps. David, lots of speed bumps. And let me tell you something. Every bit of it's worth it. Everything is worth it. You got to keep learning, keep reinventing, keep your eye on the target. Embrace the low points, Stacy, of your life. Because it's when it's hidden in the dark times that growth and transformation will take place. Hidden in the dark times is when growth and transformation will take place. Pay attention. How are we going to bridge the gap between our dreams and our reality? How many of you are ready to expand your world? How many of you are really going to commit to yourself to really do this? How many of you are going to do this? Are you committed to make this happen for yourself? Okay, well, you're going to have to enter a different dimension of growing. You're going to have to enter a different dimension of growing. You see, it doesn't matter what you know in this moment. What matters is if it matters to you. If it matters to you, you'll do it. So you see, what matters is if you're going to show up. See, it's not just a dream. We have to have a plan, don't we? We need a plan to get there. We can talk about dreaming big and all this stuff, but we need a plan of action, right? We got to get somewhere. I don't want to just tell you, oh, go back and dream big. That's not what I'm talking about. I want to create a plan with you today. So do you want to do this plan with me right now? Okay. So it matters if you're going to show up. Whatever it takes, you don't need to be dressed. You don't need to be the best dressed. You don't need to know the most. And you don't need to be making the most money. You just need to have the most passion. So do you have the passion to start with me right now? Okay. Let me tell you something. You don't need to have the most. You need to have the most passion. You don't need to know the most. The most successful people in this business didn't know the most, didn't have the most money, but they had the most desire. That's what I need you to have. Everybody get a piece of paper out. Get a piece of paper out. Don't let me see you not writing, including my management team. Let's do this real quick. Get up, JR, you're excused. Mark, you're excused. I'm not going to tell my bosses what to do. Anyway, pull out a piece of paper and draw a circle, just like you see on the screen. Draw a circle. Got it done? Come on, speed it up. We ain't got all day. Speed it up, draw a circle. Okay, what do you want out of your life? Let me ask you a question. Be honest. Remember, we're supposed to be completely honest. How many of you have ever written down like your goals like you've been told to do by everybody here? Don't raise your hand if you haven't. I'd rather you be honest. Thank you. I love you for being honest. I love you for being honest. We're going to do our goals right now. You're not going to write them down because that takes too long, and you haven't done it yet. So you're going to draw a circle. Draw the circle. Think about all the things you want right now. Now, let's not lie. We're all here for a little bit of this, right? Let's put ching-ching on there. Put money on there. Make a pie chart. Make a pie chart just like you did when you were in school. You don't have to worry about what the percentage is. We're not measuring it out by percentage. Make one of the little pieces of pie in this little pie circle that I'm having you draw, and make one slice of the pie money. What's the other thing you want? Steve, what would you like? More time with your family? Tell me something else you would want. Other than money. More time with his grandkids, more time with your kids. If you feel the same way, put that in your pie chart. Take another slice of the pie and put it in your pie chart. I assume, Andrew, you're writing yours on the phone. Now, here's the point. No, I get it. I like that. I see you drawing it. I like that. Thank you, Jim. Put that in there. More time with your family, more money, lose weight, be healthier. Whatever it is, fill out your pie chart right now. What do you want to accomplish? Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break it down using what JR and I worked on this last month called the 4 W's. Our wants, why we want it, what we have to do to get there, and when. The 4 whys. Our wants, why do we want it, or what we're willing to do to get there, and by when. So put 4 W's at the top of your page on the right or left corner, because that's what we're going to focus on. Fill out your chart. Your pie chart may have 4 things on it. It may have 5 things on it. It may have 10 things. They're not all supposed to look the same, but I would say that some of them are similar, right, David? Some of them are similar. We all want some money, more time with our family, maybe want to do more with the community, maybe some of us want to be more healthy. You know what I mean? I want to lose weight, and I'm going to talk to you, but draw your circle on your paper. You got it filled out? Yes? Yes. Hi, my gorgeous angel. You're one of my whys right there. Look at that. Look at my beautiful granddaughter. Ava, I love you. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to do this with other people in your group too, what we're doing here today. Why? Because it's a lot easier than writing it all out. And maybe they'll do it. Draw the pie chart, fill in the things you want. You can have 4 or 5 things, and by the way, you can refine it when you get home. But let me share with you what some of them will look like. Some of them will be, I want to have more joy in my life, more spirituality, I want to make more money, I want to learn how to cook. Whatever it is, all of the things in the pie chart are your wants. Make sense? Okay. Now, sometimes you have to vocalize those wants. Why? Why do you have to vocalize your wants? Why? Because maybe you need help being held accountable. Maybe you're vulnerably courageous enough that you want people to know because you really want to do it. Maybe you're vulnerably courageous because you want to help others, and if they see you do it, they'll do it too. When I found out I had a brain aneurysm and I was going in for surgery, I told Jared, please document the entire process. He said, why would I do that? I don't want people to know what you're going through. I don't want people to know that you have a brain aneurysm. I don't want to share a personal life like that. I said, because I need to be vulnerably courageous enough to share it with people, to help people save their lives, because maybe they have one too. So sharing your wants and being vulnerably courageous is important to help you get there. Say it out loud to people. How many of you would be vulnerable enough to share your wants with others? Raise your hand. It's important. Now, when you think no one hears you, even if you say it out loud to yourself, you're wrong. You see, the universe hears you all the time, don't they? The universe hears you all the time, and it's waiting to see what you're willing to do about the things you want. It's willing to wait to see what you're willing to do, because nothing's going to happen until you start vocalizing what your wants are. Someday, someone's going to hear me, because I'm going to say it out loud. And if they don't join me, then guess what? They're going to hear about my story. They're going to hear about my story. Because when you're growing and you're doing, no one has time to document your success along the way. You're too busy. You're too busy getting there just to arrive. Listen, starting this business was hard. A lot of tears, a lot of crying, a lot of laughing, a lot of smiling, a lot of sadness, a lot of happiness, but most importantly, we've grown and we've gotten there. We've grown and we've gotten there, and that's what you've got to do. And the first thing you got to do is put down your wants. 4 W's. Want, why, what, and when. Let me share you ours. Jared and I have a few of them. Grow the company and teach the shopping annuity. Reach new people in the field. Hit new records in sales and pin levels in the field. Be the best healthy, in the most healthy shape that we could possibly be, and mentally and medically clear and safe and healthy. Have more control over our time and eliminate our distractions and spend more time with my beautiful Ava and Aiden and Adrian and my daughter. That's our wants. What are yours? Now, we have them combined, our business and our personal. You don't have to do that. You can do it any way you want. But let me share with you one of ours. One of ours is to lose 20 pounds by November 1st. Who wants to lose weight? Anybody else? 5 pounds, 10 pounds, doesn't matter. So I'm going to be vulnerable with you. And I'm going to talk about it out loud with you because I want you to help hold me accountable and help hold JR accountable. So by November 1st, Stacy, you're going to be on me. I know she'll write me by text at least once a week anyway. I always get something inspiring. So you're going to push me. And I'm putting it down here with you because I'm not afraid to say it. So what is our want? Well, our want is to lose weight. Walk through this with me. By the way, don't just pay attention to me. Start filling out yours. Why? Why do we want to lose weight? Well, Jared and I want to be sexy. We want to look hot in our clothing. I want to live a long time to see my children grow up. We want to feel good in our clothes. We don't want them to fit tight. But be able to run longer, work out harder. What do I need to do to get there? What does Jared need to do to get there? Well, what I need to do to get there, I'm going to put it under my whats. These are the whats I need to do. I need to limit my intake of carbs. Watch my portion control. Exercise daily, which I do, but not enough. I don't make sure that I put it in harder. I need to do an extra 20 minutes on the bike. I don't need to just do the weight training with you, Andrew. I need to do more, right? I need to take more. I need to take the TLS core, Dennis. Thank you for reminding me of that the other day. I need to do that. We all forget. I'm being honest with you. Need to put the core into my program. These are the whats I have to do in order to get where I want to go. When? By November 1st. Do you understand? And this is what I'm going to do. Now, what happens when somebody doesn't hit their goal? What happens when they don't hit their goal? Sometimes life happens, doesn't it? Sometimes life happens. You don't stop, guys. What happens when you get fired at your job? What do? You look for another one. What do? You start over again. Don't stop just because you missed the when. You keep on going. You pick up and you start again. Does that make sense? So now we have our wants. Now we have our whys. Now let's not lie. Everybody's come here to get a little bit of this, right? So we're going to put on here to make more money. So for those of you, here's what you need to do. I made it simple for you. Now you can change your when to whenever you want because the when determines on how fast you're going to do it. For me, it's going to be November 1st, right, Colton? But if you want to make money, you got to put the date down. So here are the things you need to do. Your want is to make money. Why is? Because you want a better life for your kids, maybe. Maybe you want to buy a new house. Maybe you want a new car. Do you guys like this, by the way? Jared and I have worked on this for the last few months, and it really makes it simple, right? Jared and I felt like this would be a real simple system to get you to do it because you know, David, you get frustrated, right? When you tell your own team, Stacy, hey, go listen to the tape, write down your goals, this. And you can ask them the simplest thing and they won't do it, so let's make it easier. You can't avoid just drawing a circle. Everybody knows how to draw a circle. Everybody can do this, right? So we'll put these up in the back office and we'll have the real charts so you guys can just pull them and do them with your teams. Make it a lot better, right, Jared? We believe these are the things you need to do. So you want a new car, you want a new house, you want to have, buy a tree house for your granddaughter, you want to buy more toys for your granddaughter, whatever it is that you want. Why do you want more money? Put down the whys. Why do you want more money, Dave? He wants a legacy. He wants to leave a legacy behind. multiple generation legacy of money to help support you're a lucky dude, man. Colton, you're a lucky guy. You guys got your kids already covered. But that's powerful. That's one of my whys too, by the way. I get it. That's one of my whys. And that's important. So put down what your whys are, because they may be a little bit different from David's, or a little bit different from Steve's, or a little bit different than Tom's or Andy's. What are you willing to do what do you need to do to get there? Well, in this business, if you want to make more money, you got to do these 5 things. These are the 5 whats you have to do to get to the wants, to make money in this business. Now, the reason why I broke them down like this for you is because here's the thing. You've heard a whole lot of stuff this weekend. 20 or 30 speakers, all phenomenal, all amazing, but you go home. They're phenomenal. You're right. Give them a round of applause. You're right. They were amazing. But they go home, and they have 100 pages of notes. Tell the truth. How many of you have a lot of notes? I do too. You go home, you have a lot of notes, you're trying to flip through it, Dave, and they don't know where to begin because they get overwhelmed. And they're like, how do I do what Tom said to do? Okay, I got to do what Stacy said to do. Oh, Frank said to do this, Elizabeth said to do this, JR said to do this, Mark said to do this, Kevin said to do this, Ava said to do this. How am I going to do all these things? Let me begin. Okay, I'm going to start this way. This is what I'm going to do. And you spend 30 days trying to figure out how you're going to start it, and you never get it off the ground, and it's not your fault because you had every single intention. So you know what I asked JR to do? I asked my husband a month ago with Andrew there. I said, JR, sometimes it's confusing. We leave this place confused. We don't know what to do next. 100 different things, 100 different notebooks. Break it down for me, babe. Give me 5 simple things that people have to do in order to make money in this business. And there he did it. That's it. That's it. 2 evaluation approaches per week. Be a product out of the product. Show the plan, or bring someone to show them the plan. Buy and sell tickets. Measure, monitor, adjust, and control. Those are the 5 things that you need to do in order to make money in this organization. And by the way, that's right. You can clap all day because I agree with you. He simplified it. Measure, monitor, adjust, and control. And let me tell you this. Everything you heard this weekend, Andrew will tell you, is the energy and the techniques of those exact 5 things, but just by different people. So you can go home with your notes, but they're only the energy and techniques of those exact 5 things. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So when you set a goal and you articulate it and it didn't happen, some people will find ways, excuses, reasons to blame or deny, or find things to justify why it didn't work out. I want you to be different. I want you to set a goal, and I want you to go for it. I want you to set a goal and go for it. I want you to try, and if you miss it by date, change your when. But I want you to focus on those 4 W's to get you where you need to go. Does that make sense? And I want you to do it with every aspect of your life. You see, what happens if it doesn't work? Then you have to say, you know what? This is my want. This is why I want it, and I'm going to try again. This is my want. This is why I want it, and I'm going to do it again. There's no stopping it if it's your want. There's no stopping it if it is your want. That's what it comes down to. You got to be a whole different you in order to become an entrepreneur. Everything, good, bad, laughing, tears of rejection, it's all part of the process to get there. Okay, we're moving on from our goals for a second. You know what you have to do with your teams, right? You have to get them to commit their wants on the pie. Can you do that? Okay, next thing. We got to think different. We got to think different. Very important part of this presentation. I want you to pay attention to it. I want you to think about it every single day, every time you wake up. I'm going to ask you a question. Action, attitude, atmosphere. All 3 are incredibly important. Which is the most important? Action. Okay, I think Mark, Kevin, Stacy all said it right down here, and I think I heard a few of you out there say it. Atmosphere. Pay attention. They're all important. I'm going to tell you why. Atmosphere. Action, attitude, and atmosphere. The atmosphere is the thing we control. Once you understand that it's the atmosphere that we control, you'll stop beating your people over the head trying to change their attitude or get them or demand action. Pay attention to that. That is a very powerful statement. Very powerful statement. Once you understand that atmosphere is what you control, you'll stop beating people over the head to change their attitude or demanding action because you can't. And let me tell you what we do, each and every one of you in this room. You're great in the atmosphere. You're great in this room. When you're here, you're safe. When you're here, you cheer your neighbor on. When you're here, you believe you can do it. That's why I want you to always stay in the atmosphere. That means I say buy tickets, you buy tickets. You stay in the atmosphere and you make it. You leave this atmosphere and you lose. You will be up against the enemies who don't care if you succeed. You stay within the atmosphere. Does that make sense to you? That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Think about it. How many of you are ready to go out and make it happen right now after everything you've heard this weekend? How many of you want to go out there and just tear it up? How many of you believe that you can do it more than ever? How many of you? Let me hear. I know you guys can. I know you can. I know it. So listen. Stay there a minute. Stay there. Wait. Now listen. I didn't say you better change your attitude, did I, Andy? I didn't say you better take action, did I? But we put you in the right atmosphere. I want you to take that home to every single meeting you run across the country. David, I want you to empower people with atmosphere everywhere we go. That's what the GMTS is all about. It's not about paying to get a ticket to go into the meeting. It's not about JR giving you an opportunity to let you build your business without having to spend money. By plugging people anywhere in the system you want to go, that's just a benefit. We're keeping them in the atmosphere. We want them to live. We want them to breathe our air. That's what we want. Would you agree with that? Now you understand why atmosphere is so important? You understand it? Okay, sit down for one more minute because I got 10 minutes. I'm rolling fast. 10 minutes and I'm going fast. Atmosphere is everything. You already do it well. You already do it so well. You see, the attitude, the atmosphere will create the attitude. The atmosphere will cause someone to take the action. The atmosphere will cause someone to take the action, to change their attitude. You can shake somebody all day long and nothing will change. But you put them in this room for 2 days, and everything changes. But the reason why JR's constantly saying, you have to go to the next event. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what the atmosphere does. I'm going to have to not worry about what all these slides say. Because I got 13 minutes and I got a lot to finish, and I'm going to do it on time, baby. Atmosphere. Let me tell you what the atmosphere is. It's the immunity shot that you need from the outside world. And the UBPs and the locals and the seminars that you go to on the weekend, those are your booster shots you need to protect yourself from the outside world. You need to get your tickets, not because I need your money, because I don't. You need to believe in yourself. You need the atmosphere. You need the atmosphere to survive. If you don't have the atmosphere, no one can give you the attitude, and you'll never take action. The atmosphere is what will help. It will take you exactly where you want to go. It'll help you achieve all your dreams. Imagine if you came into this room and this was the opposite of exactly what we are, and everybody told you how you couldn't do it. You'll never make it. That's what the outside world's like. Go back to your job. The girl sitting beside you, the guy sitting beside you wants your job. Or they're competing for the same job you're trying to compete for. But in this room, everybody's pushing each other up. Everybody's pushing each other up. Where in the world do you see that happening? Where in the world do you see that happening? Have you ever heard about the trees in the forest? The trees in the forest, Jackie, they share water and nutrients. Through their networks, they survive. They use them to communicate. Andrew, one tree in the forest is amongst a lot of trees, right? And when it's dying, what happens? Do you know? I'm going to teach you. It uses its network around it to give it soil, to give it water, to give it sun, to send it nutrients, to keep it alive. This is the atmosphere. That is what we do. That is who we are. And that one tree is being helped by all the others around it. One single tree in the forest survives because of all of you around it. One single person can make it because you're going to send it water. Do you guys get it? You're never going to give up. You're always going to have legitimate reasons, legitimate excuses. I'm not saying they're not legitimate. You're always going to have legitimate reasons, always going to have legitimate excuses, but they're still excuses. 48 hours before a convention started in 2015, and the doctor told me, you have a brain aneurysm. I said, well, what do we do about that? He said, well, we're going to operate on it. If you don't operate it, it's going to explode and you're going to die. That's simple. It was so big. And it was 7 millimeters in size. And he said it's going to take a stent, hopefully, and multiple coils because it's too big to operate through your brain. So we're going to go through your groin. It's a dangerous surgery, Lauren. There's 80% chance you can end up with a stroke. It's a tough one. It's shaped like a heart, though. And he said, I said, well, there's a problem. He said, well, I suggested we operate on it right away. I said, this is a bigger problem. I got a convention in 48 hours. And he said, well, there's no way you can go on a plane. There's no way you can go on a plane. We've discovered this. I had symptoms that already sent me to the doctor that told me it was getting ready to burst. It was already starting to leak. I said, I got to get on that plane. He said, you can't get on the plane. I got to go on the plane. Let me tell you something. I went into this life. I'm not going out, not dying in winter. I'm going on that stage. And I got up on that stage, and I showed up, and when I landed that Sunday, I got into the hospital right from the plane and went in and checked myself in. Don't you quit. Don't use excuses. Stop looking for excuses. Stop looking for excuses. Stop looking for excuses. It's not that they're not legitimate. They're still excuses. Put yourself in the environment. David could tell somebody in his group, hey, John says to David, hey, David, what do I need to do to build this business? Well, first thing I want you to do is buy a ticket to the local seminar. I want you to come. I want you to meet some people. I want you to see what it's about. You mean I got to pay? That's how people generally respond sometimes. Move on. You got to change that thinking. Yeah, you have to pay. In order to build a dream, you have to be willing to pay the price to get there. Stop lying to yourself. Most people walk around life with tinted shades on. They have opinions that have been formed out of experiences that are not really real. And they don't matter anymore. And you've let it affect you long enough in your life. And they change your perception, and they've created opinions about things that have caused you to do things differently than you would have done if you were just in this atmosphere. You have to stay within the atmosphere, right, Colton? You see, we cannot worry about what the world thinks. You cannot worry about what your neighbor thinks. JR and I bought this most beautiful home in Greenwich, Connecticut, so we could have a big backyard for our grandkids. It was a house much more than we needed, and there was 4 neighbors on the street, and I would have thought somebody would have come over and introduced themselves. That's what I would do if somebody moved in. People don't do that, because people don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you with a bigger house than them. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Stay in this atmosphere because we want you to have it all. I want you to have the biggest house in the world. I want you to have the best cars. I want you to have the best life. I want you to live the longest. I want people to hear your story. I want people to see you share it. We're a sharing company. Share your story. And if you don't have one yet, share them the reason why you know it's the solution. Tell them what you finally saw that brought you here. We are got to be brave enough to see our situation so we can find our way out of it. I'm going to skip through a lot of these really quick. You need to have clarity. I was going to go through the 4 C's. I'm way behind. I got 6 minutes left on the clock. I'll never get it done. You need to be able to change. You need to be clear. You need to have clarity. If you lack clarity, the day will fly by and nothing will ever get done. You got to have clarity about what you want. What are your money goals? When you do that chart, when you go home, put down a number. Whatever your money goals are, put down a number. Everybody has a number. Put it down. If you hit it, put a different number down. Have clarity. Have clarity. Fight your fears. You will forever be in a battle if you fight your fears. But face your fears and you'll be forever free. Face your fears and you will be forever free. Do what scares you until it doesn't. Fight back. You're in charge of your life. Too many of you are lions who have been taught to live like cats. Too many of you are lions who have been taught to live like a cat. Be a lion. Be the lion that you are. Don't be afraid to learn. You have to understand if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I have to do it. I can't worry about what my neighbor does. You think Colton and Michaela walked around wondering what their friends were going to say? No, because their friends thought they were crazy. And then what did they do? They found a new set of friends. And that's what you have to do. You have to immerse yourself in your dream so deep that you get lost in it. And while you finally make the change and you get clear and you're courageous enough like me to share what your want is, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. You got to do those things in order to get there. You got to pick a number and know you're going to make it. Imagination. You got to use your imagination and turn it into your reality. We have a method to our madness. Align the people around you with the same things and wants that you have. Nothing different. That doesn't mean they have to be in Market America. It just means they have to want what's best for you. The best version of you, the best life for you, the best type of friends around you who are always pushing you. Colton, I know you're going to hit the next level. Maybe I'll come to a convention when you do it next time because I'm so proud of you. You've done so much. They don't have to be in Market America. They just need to be supportive of you. That's your circle. Check your circle. Somebody say, check your circle. Oh, come and meet me. Come to the meeting with me, Mark. Come on, come to the meeting with me. Oh, that's too far. I've been to that meeting before. Nobody's heard this business more than me. I live with the Creator. You keep going. You hear it 7 different times, 7 different ways. I've heard it 7 million times, 7 million different times, and I keep hearing it. Do not quit. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. You can't work the business because you have a job. You don't have time. Let me tell you something. Something holding you down, cut it off. Move on. Move on. I'm skipping through all this. Hold on. Hold on a second. Let me figure out what I can get ahead. Okay. We're all human beings, creatures of habit. Our opportunity is so powerful. I need you to unlearn what you've been doing wrong and learn it the right way. Those 5 simple steps. Pay attention to those 5 simple steps. You see, in this business, it doesn't matter how much money you have, what color you are, what kind of background you have, what kind of education you have. We love all people. That's what we believe. People matter. People matter. We do everything for you, a business in a box. And I know 2 to 3 years seems like a long time to commit to you. I love you so much. I know that 2 to 3 years feels like a long time to commit and make yourself a priority, but you've been doing it probably for 30, 20, 30, 40, 50 years for somebody else. Do it for you. Do it for you. You can clap. I see you. You can clap. Do it for you. You see, here it takes so much less time. It's much faster, less hours, and you make a lot more money. We've got the best business out there. A new value system, new possibilities. Welcome home. You're home. You're home. I love you. I'll meet you outside for a picture later. Do that song again like we do. I love that we have a little joke because we do that. They sing that song and they know I find them. Anyway, it's kind of like this is their call for me. Anyway, these people have transformed their lives in 2 to 3 years. Maybe some of them it took 4. Maybe some of them it took 5. Who cares? Are we one of those things? No, we're not. No, we're not. And neither is the business out there who doesn't make it. We're just like them. When somebody doesn't make it, it's simply because it just didn't work for them. Because they didn't work it. You say you got to stop realizing, you got to start to realize that we live in an instantaneous world. We're a little bit spoiled now. We don't go to malls anymore. We shop online. We don't go to the movie theaters like we did as a kid because we can watch Netflix, right? We don't have to worry about putting something in the mailbox because we have something called email. We live in an instantaneous world. People don't even want to go to trade school anymore because life is so much easier. But you have to go to trade school here. You have to do the work. You have to learn your trade. I was talking to Mila, who is one of my favorite people in the world, who does my hair all the time, and he was talking to me, and he goes, you know, it's so crazy. I was working with a friend of mine who we both started being stylists at the same time many years ago, and he had actually a better opportunity than me, Lauren. But why is it that I'm so much more successful than him, and he never made it? Why? Because he didn't work it like Milo did. Don't you be that. You work it harder. Don't you let other people around you tell you what to do. In this business, people start at the same time, all the time with the same opportunity, and not everyone will be the same place in 2 years from now. Pick up the pieces, get back up until you win. You keep going. Let's stop taking advantage of the fact that life is instantaneous. It works for us and it can work against us. We cannot build this business on Facebook, guys. You can have a conversation with people, you can catch up with people, but you cannot build this business on Facebook. Okay? It's a fake world out there. The only real world right now is what you see in here. Too many girls, young boys getting sick, getting bullied, killing themselves, watching other people. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses, keep up with the Smiths, end up committing suicide of stuff that's fake. It's fake book. Live your real life. Stop living behind a computer screen. Start doing. Stop living your life behind a computer screen and start doing. It's time to do it. I promise you, you'll see results. I promise you see results. I promise you. I promise you, you will see results. You will see results. Please don't overcomplicate this business. Please don't overcomplicate this business. You will see results. Listen, it's easy to write down the 100 names on the list. It's easy to write down the 100 people you know that you don't know if they'll do it or not do it on that list, but it's easier not to. It's easier not to, Dave, isn't it? But it's easy to do. And I want you to do it. I want you to do it. You got to have some patience, Dennis, right? Let me tell you something. Dennis and we used to get up in the morning and run together on the boardwalk, did we? And I was not a good runner. I always believed that I could only walk. I wasn't a good runner. And Dennis used to sit there right beside me, making me go. I mean, he was trying to keep up with my pace. He was much faster than I was. Stayed behind with me, kept telling me, Lauren, one hand in front of the other. One hand in front of the other. Put your hand out further than your foot. Look at your hand first, right? Patience and patience and patience he had with me. And I kept doing it every day till I finally learned how to run. You got to keep practicing. You got to keep learning. I always love it, Mark, when I hear the guy who goes to the gym and he looks at somebody like Drayton's body, who's got a six-pack or whatever, and he's like, I want to look like Drayton. Or have arms like Andrew. Andrew's got some good arms. Maybe have you know. Right, Mark said, eh. And here's the thing, they get up and they go to the gym, David. They get up and they go to the gym and they do like 100 sit-ups, Dennis. And they get up from doing those 100 sit-ups and they go to the mirror like Mark does and they lift up their shirt. And they look in the mirror. You have a six-pack though, but they look in the mirror and they say, I don't see a six-pack yet. Maybe this thing doesn't work that well. Next day they go back to the gym, do 100 sit-ups. Get back up, look in the mirror, lift up the shirt again. Nothing's changed. Drayton thing's not happening easy. What's going on? I did 100 sit-ups yesterday, I did 100 sit-ups the day before. Why isn't it working, David? I'm gonna go back to the gym tomorrow and I'm gonna try it again. 100 sit-ups. Get up, Andrew, and I look in the mirror. I don't even see a one of those things popping out. Not even a one of the six. I quit. I'm done. Why? Because you're not seeing instantaneous results. You're not seeing instantaneous results, but I guarantee you something. If you keep doing that every single day, 5 days a week, you're going to see results and you're going to have Drayton six-pack. Let me tell you something, you got to keep going. 3 questions that I'm going to take 3 more minutes, guys. I'm sorry. I've got to take 3 more minutes. Give me 3 more minutes, please, in the back. What happens when you show the plan? Somebody's sitting in the audience and they got 3 questions. First one is this for real? Is this for real? So JR and I implemented just last week creating a 3-minute sick video, it's amazing, of the best media coverage that we've ever had in history that's going to be a requirement to play before every UBP for 3 minutes so we can answer the question for people, is this for real? Is this for real? You're going to play that and you don't have to say a thing. You don't have to answer the question because the 3-minute video will answer it for you, Trinity. The 3-minute video will answer it for them. And it'll eliminate the question, is this for real? Because they're going to see things like Bloomberg. You know what I mean? CNN. They're going to see all types of CNN, I question. But anyway, I'll keep that to myself. Anyway, my point is you'll see Bloomberg. It's going to answer the questions, is this for real? Second question, what's in it for me? The marketing plan, the money, the method to the madness. So we're going to do 3 things. 1, we're going to show them the 3-minute video. 2, we're going to show them the compensation plan. And the third question they have is, can I do this? And that's where the testimonials come into play. Now listen, I want to talk to you for 2 seconds about those testimonials. You did not join this business just for a product. You didn't. You can buy the product. You might love the product might have changed your life, but you joined this business for some other reason. Maybe it's because you finally saw a way out. Maybe you finally saw a way to stop trading time for money. Maybe you finally saw a way to spend more time with your family. So if you're not making it in this business, don't give me any excuses why you can't get up and be one of the testimonies and tell them what you finally saw, even if it hasn't happened. I finally saw this happen. I finally saw the thing that was going to take me from here to there. I want you to remember those words. I finally saw. Very important. I finally saw. Those words are the words you're going to use when you talk about a testimony. If you're making it in the business, you can tell them how you're making it. The point is this: stop selling in the UBP. Stop selling. You're selling too much. You're selling too much. Start telling me. Start sharing your emotions with me. You see, emotions evoke people to do things that they wouldn't normally do. Work on their emotions. Answer those 3 questions. People buy emotionally, don't they? We don't buy logically, do we? I don't go in the store and say, well, I really need to buy a basic pair of black pants because that's what I'm looking for. Nobody does that. They show you a lot of things. Let me ask you a question. What happens when you go, Steve, looking for a brand new car? You go to a brand new car lot, Andrew, and you go to the car lot and you're looking on the car lot. What's the salesman try to do for you, Mark?
He's trying to get you in the car.
He tries to get you in the car, doesn't he? And the salesman says, get in this gorgeous car. Smell the leather, Mark. How's it smell? It smells amazing, doesn't it? Ooh, and I love how the seats fit your body, just like fits amazing. Look at all these electronics, David. It's like a 777. Gorgeous. It lights up, it glows, it makes your face look brighter and beautiful. They get you. Does anybody ever talk to you about the brake pads when you go buy a car? They don't talk to you about the brake pads, do they? Logics are facts. They don't sell, but they tell. I want you to use emotion when you talk about this business. I want you to stop worrying about what you don't know and focus on sharing someone else's story that you do know if you don't have one of your own. And then I want you to work on your own. I want you to stop worrying about if you show the plan like Dennis or Mark did the other night. Don't worry. I can't show it like them either. Be you. Share your emotion. Share what got you involved with this business. Tell them what you finally saw. Stop making things so complicated. Stop being so smart. Stop being so smart and just be you and normal and like us. Silly and fun. Simple. And show your heart, because that's what they want to see. You get confused. Anthony Akers, where are you? I want to tell you something real quick. I want to show you something. Anthony Akers, for those of you who don't know, Anthony Akers, our executive vice president, come out here wherever you are. I got 3 minutes and you're wasting my time. So come on right now. Anthony Akers. Please don't. Yes. Okay.
Hey, baby, no.
Now wait. I want to just tell you this. I love you. What you guys don't know about Anthony Akers is that in 1999, he was the top retailer of the year.
That's right. Top retailer.
Oh, Stacy said she remembers.
Remember?
Okay. Now, we need to go back to the basics here. So I'm trying to teach you some simple things to take all the fear out. One of the things that we used to teach 25 years ago was something called
Feel, felt,
and found. Okay, I want you to do it. So I want you to remember that not only did we teach it, you guys used to teach it, but you stopped. Just like we stopped.
That's right.
And we need to go back to using it. You see, we used to use this all the time and talk about it a lot. You see, people don't care about how much you know, they care about how much you care. So, you know, Anthony, I don't know about you, but I have this problem with my feet. My feet are swelling. They're really bad. I've been putting them up. Last night I drank a whole bottle of Pedialyte. It was disgusting. And yet my feet are still swollen. I don't know what do you know what can I do about this? It's horrible.
I got to tell you, I know how you feel. I remember how my legs used to swell, how they used to get tight, couldn't hardly walk. I felt the same way until I found the solution. It's this thing called OPC3. I don't know if it'll do anything for you, but I just happen to have a bottle if you'd like to give it a try.
Hold that bottle up. We make it too complicated. Is that hard? F. Feel, felt, found. How hard is that to sell a product? Is that hard?
Can you do that?
Can you do that? And the same thing is true. We were talking about it the other day when somebody was saying to us, oh, well, you know, not sure this business is right for me. I mean, you know, I just don't know if it'll work. I know how you feel. I used to feel the same way. I mean, after years of a great education, years of working for somebody else and hardly making ends meet, not being able to take my family on the vacations that I wanted to go on, I found something better. I found a different way. And I realized because I wasn't making ends meet, it was time for a change. And that was hard for me to see. But because I finally found something, everything has changed. You understand? You have to use the words feel, felt, found.
Yeah, what'd you find, Lauren? What'd you find? Tell me.
Exactly. And that's where we go, and yet we complicate it. We complicate it so much, and we were talking about this because I said to Anthony the other day, I was showing him my presentation. He goes, oh my God, Lauren, I built a $100,000 a year business selling friction-free by using feel, felt, found. $100,000 a year business. Tell me.
Just in retail. That's just retail. It's not the commissions as well. Just in friction-free alone. It didn't include what we sold in OPC3 as well.
And it worked, didn't it?
It worked.
And that's how he did. He said, I never complicated it. People only care about how I felt about them. They didn't care about how much I knew. They didn't know if I knew. They didn't care if I knew how to say oligoproanthocyanidins.
That wasn't right, by
They
the way.
didn't care about.
That wasn't right.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it was right. The point is, okay, well, I know you're just saying it doesn't matter what you say, but the point is what matters is if I care, not if I can say it right. And that's why when he said this, when I said that to him, he goes, Lauren, feel, felt, that's how I built my whole business. Jared taught me that. That's how I built my whole retail business. He was so excited, and Jared came in the room and goes, all this stuff Lauren and I have been digging up for the last couple months, it works. And we need to go back to using it. Listen, the events and seminars are simply a system, the atmosphere that you have to plug your people into in order to survive. You cannot be everywhere at once. You need the atmosphere to sustain your business. It provides an environment for you and your group to flourish, to grow, to be positive, in an environment that will support you always. You never have to worry about your people going to the atmosphere and getting discouraged. Otherwise, outside influences will kill it. Let me skip ahead to something important here. Let me show you this slide. Can you put it up there? You see what that is? It's a seed. If you don't know, it's a seed. Talk to me. What does a seed need? What does a seed need? Water. What else does a seed need? Sun. What else does the seed need? Soil, great soil. You're right. So here's the thing. A seed is just a seed, isn't it, David? It has to be coupled with something. You see, a seed is just a seed without anything else. It needs water. It needs good soil. It needs a healthy environment. It needs sun. It needs sun. And it also needs a gardener who will come by and unwrap the weeds from choking the life out of it.
That's right. That's right.
Now, it does. Now you see, you and I are the same things. We're a seed, but we need to connect to a community of people, a healthy environment. A vibrant, healthy environment that believes that the best is really in store for us. Now, you come in here and you're dry. You're brittle. You need water. You need sun. And you say, I can't do this anymore. I'm not going to make it. I just can't do this anymore. I'm not going to make it. Let me tell you something. You stay in this atmosphere, and all you got to do is turn left or turn right, and your neighbor's going to give you the sun you need. Your neighbor's going to give you the water you need. Your neighbor's going to give you the soil you need. It's going to unwrap the weeds from around the choking the life out of you. You stay in the atmosphere. You stay in the atmosphere. You don't quit. You don't quit. You stay in the atmosphere. Everything that's left doesn't matter. I hope you get it. I love you. I want you to stay in the atmosphere with me. You are everything. You can do this. I love you guys. We need each other. We are the hope and belief for each other. We sell hope. We are hope. When your neighbor needs water, when your neighbor needs soil, turn and give it to them. Keep them alive. Take the weeds off their neck. I love you guys so much.